Mr. Ajay Alok, I'd like you to open the debate. One of the key criticism of the government has been that important pieces of legislation have been passed without any real debate and discussion. Perhaps suspensions could have been avoided. That is what various opposition leaders, including Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, have said. Your response to that?
Well, if you have an intention to debate and if you have an intention to participate, then there is no issue at all.
Yep.
But when you don't have an intention to debate or participate, but only disruption is the intention, then this was bound to happen. Like, for what opposition was opposing? What were the demands? They wanted Home Minister to make a statement on Parliament security breach. On the same very breach, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and other opposition leaders were saying that yes, there was a security breach, but it was because of unemployment and because of high rise, and they were having a soft corner towards those who have breached the Parliament security, which is actually an act of terrorism, as what Delhi police has charged them. And now the various angles associated with it, we are coming to know all the feathers are being rubbed up, that this planning was going on for last 1.5 years, and who all are involved, where the funding came. There are so many questions. And when Speaker has already called all the floor leaders to his chamber on the very same day, that is 13th December, and explained that this has happened, and we have ordered a high-level inquiry committee by the Home Ministry, and the senior-most DGP will be heading it. And once the details are there, intended, we are going to let you know everyone. Then what was the point in raising this, that Home Minister should come and make a statement? Because this security and the whole Parliament issue comes under the purview of the Speaker. And what will Home Minister will say when you don't have any detailed investigation report? He might be knowing something more, but as far as the whole country knows, that was a restricted knowledge everywhere. And when you make a statement in the Parliament, it has to be authenticated with facts. You cannot go and say anything like what the opposition is in a habit to do, like what Raghav Chadha did in Rajya Sabha. He named the member without taking a consent. So this type of frivolous act cannot be done by the Home Minister. So what they thought? They thought the best idea is to disrupt the Parliament. They started disrespecting the chair. When it was mutually agreed that nobody will come to the veil with placards and everything, they started tearing the papers and throwing it on the authorities of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What option did the Speaker or the Sabhapati was left with? Nothing than to suspend. Because Parliament is run by the norms, by the laws.
I agree with you that the chair, if they have no option but to suspend, that might be the decision that they have taken, and they are in the possession of the facts at best to take that call. I have to ask you this question so that I can take the point to the Congress party as well. The opposition argued that if there was a statement that could come from the top functionaries of the government, including the Home Minister, outside the Parliament, if the Parliament is in session, that should have been the first avenue to give any kind of information. Rebut that argument, please.
It is absolutely a baseless argument, because in that function I was also present. When Home Minister was asked about the Parliament security breach, it was on the very same day, that is 13 December, in a private channel program. He said, yes, we know it's a security breach and we are trying to ascertain the reason for the security breach, and the committee has been formed and they are doing their job. And we'll come out with a detailed statement once the reports is there. What's wrong in that?
Right.
And what was the need for that? What is the point of making Home Minister that statement in the Parliament when the Speaker has already done that? When Rajnath Singh had already done that.
Mr. Madhu Goud Yaskhi, I want to understand this, that if this is not an ego issue, as the BJP argues that it is, that you have made it a matter of political ego, that you want Prime Minister and Home Minister to come and make a statement, if there was already all the information that was available from the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, all from the Speaker's office, do you believe the statement of the Home Minister without any proper inquiry could have really added any kind of substance to what was already known? And even if as opposition you insisted upon the Home Minister to make a statement, which the opposition has all the right to, wasn't there a less disruptive way of putting your point across? We as citizens could have got some good debate on the key legislations that have been passed.
Let me speak as a member of Parliament for 10 years. And also the lawyer.
Sure, sir.
I don't want to teach Mr. Ajay Alok what is the parliamentary proceeding, what is privileges. Let me remind him what late Arun Jaitley just said it, when it's a fundamental right to protest the opposition members when they disrupted the House, when I was a member of the Parliament 2004 to 14. Let me remind him what is the parliamentary rule says. When Parliament is in session, the minister, be it a Prime Minister or a Minister, It's a decorum of the House. They should not make any statement, any policy statement outside the Parliament. They should come to the Parliament and make it. It is such a breach, security lapse, and who's going to investigate? Isn't it Home Minister who arrested those accused? Who's investigating? Is it not under Home Ministry? What is wrong for Home Minister to come to the House and make a statement? There was months long they've disrupted the House. Never a member was suspended. Raising placards, raising slogans, though it's the Lok Sabha rule says that one member should not, but it's always done for years long. Never in the history of the Parliament of Indian Parliament have so many members have been suspended. It happens in the assemblies, but not in the Parliament. And it only shows the least respect for the parliamentary proceedings. We are a parliamentary democracy. And Prime Minister and Home Minister has no respect to the Parliament, not the Parliament members. You have mentioned in the beginning, such an important bills have been passed without any discussion. I was at a dinner, informal dinner with some members of ruling party. They were dismayed. They said we didn't even feel like debating or speaking when there is no members of opposition were not there.
Okay.
What is democracy says?
Okay.
Without no healthy democracy can function without a strong opposition. Let me remind one quickly. Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji called in 2009 Advani ji. This has been said by Sri Advani ji that when tussle between Advani ji and Sushma Swaraj ji and late Arun Jaitley ji, who could be leader of opposition, when they were fighting, there was a fear that BJP may split. And she called up Sri Advani ji and said the country needs a strong opposition. Please resolve your infighting. This is stated by Sri Advani ji in their
Madhuji, I take the broad points that you've made. And Mr. Ajay Alok, before I come to you for a response, I want to bring in Smita Prakash ji also into the discussion. Smita ji, do you agree with the points that the opposition is making, or what the Congress spokesperson just said, that we deserved a statement to come from the Home Minister himself? Were these disruptions the final resort that the opposition took, or was this a mere political stunt to derail the Parliament, as BJP argues?
Well, with due respect to the opposition, yes, before I say anything about this, it is a little disturbing to have such a large number of people from the opposition not in Parliament. It just doesn't sit easy. But I certainly don't see this as obituary of democracy being written and things like that. I'm not one of those Cassandras who think ki sab kuch tabah ho gaya, sab kuch khatam ho gaya. We have become a USSR of the olden times. I mean, I'm not one of those.
Sure.
But besides that, with due respect, I just want to say this, I've been hearing this for several days on end about Arun Jaitley's comment, which is touted a lot by the opposition. In all my years of reporting, I have never seen Mr. Jaitley holding placards or jumping into the well of the House. Just because flouting of rules has been a norm and that should go on, that's an interesting take. The fact is that there are rules, there are laws.
I'm sorry interrupting
and if
you, but
flouting
I'll
of
come
the
back
rule
to
has become a
So
norm.
please extend her the
May I
taxi, I'll
please
come back to
complete?
you.
I did not interrupt
Yes,
you, sir.
yes.
May
Please
I
go.
just complete? So it's like saying
Smita
that
Prakash,
there is
one at a time.
seat
It's her
belt
turn
or
to
a
speak.
helmet
Please,
rule,
no
but it has
disruptions.
never
Smita
been
Prakash.
enforced.
Ma'am, no disruptions from here on. Please go ahead. It's your turn to speak.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like I was saying that just like the helmet rule was there or the seat belt rule was there, and it was never enforced. So then why fine people? Because the norm was to flout those rules. Similarly, as journalists, we used to be on Prime Minister flights, on Home Minister flights, on External Affairs Minister's flights when they used to travel abroad. That norm was broken by the Prime Minister because he said कोई rule तो नहीं था कि लेके जाना है तुमको. So there are many norms which don't exist anymore because there were no rules. Whatever the rules are, if they are enforced, I'm afraid everybody will have to follow those rules.